everybody. Welcome to my channel and thank you for joining. Now, you may have noticed there hasn't been a video uploaded for 5 days. Okay, now there's something wrong. What's wrong? Just calm down. I've been recharging the batteries. Okay, now I've had a long preseason. I've pretty much put up a video every single day for the past 50 days. So I'm just having a bit of a break. Okay, now, and we're back. Okay, just a small recharge. Because it's going to be a long season, so I need to get those batteries all charged up and put up new batteries in the system now. Okay, the brain's got brand new batteries. So today's discussion is going to be about the pre-season, what you should be looking for, and what I've been seeing, and how the results have been lately. Okay, we're going to find out a lot of information today. Just calm down. Now, this is my little folder I have, and unfortunately for me, all these files here, I put on a video yesterday. I actually made a video yesterday. I spent hours on it, okay? And I have to delete them all, okay? Because they didn't, well, this is, hang on, all these has to go delete, okay? Everything's gone, and this one has to go because I put up a video, well, I was making a video yesterday, and the sound didn't work. So I had to do it all over again now. So this is take 2 of what was supposed to come out this morning. Now, this pre-season, you're going to see lots of comments all over social media. They're going to be in your private chats. They're going to be on Facebook. They're going to be on Twitter. Okay, there's going to be lots of them, and it's going to cause you confusion. Now, what I want you to do, all right, and this pretty much goes not for the gun experienced coaches, but this is more for the average coaches. Okay, and even some of the gun coaches. Now, number one. Okay, what you are looking for is the roles of the players. Okay, have the roles changed? Okay, so that's number one. Okay, now number 2, what are you looking for? Okay, now you are looking at besides the roles, you are ignoring primos. Don't look at the primo scores. Okay, for example, for argument's sake, okay, and this has been mentioned, I've seen it all over the place. Now, Brayshaw scored 100 fantasy points or whatever he did, or had not many touches, so everyone's turned off Brayshaw now because he's not good, okay, and Sarong played full forward, so must have had a role change. He's not good. Now, that is not true, okay, you cannot follow that. Just ignore the primos. Because I can tell you right now, the Sarong's not going to play full forward this year. Now, number 3. So that's roles, and don't look at primo scores, okay? Number 3 is you need to look at rookies. Okay? We got to look at rookies and then identify from the rookies, okay, 3A, because this is part of the rookies. Actually, I'm going to push this up here a little bit. Okay, we're going to look for job security, okay, role of the rookie, and we're going to look at price, okay, because we're going to work out, because the rookies didn't make cash, so how much does this rookie cost? So that's part of the rookies. Actually, we don't even need to put 3A, we can just get rid of that. So that's your job, looking for the rookies, okay? Job security, role, and the price. Very important. So these are the things we're going to look for. Now, number 4, all right, what else are we looking at? We're going to look at mid-prices. Okay, once I spell it right. So mid-prices. And when I say mid-prices, players ranging from 250K up to, say, 450K. Okay, that's the mid-prices. So we're going to look at that. Okay, then number 5, what else are we going to look at? Okay, we're going to look at breakout. We're going to try to identify breakout players. And these players are usually in the 500 to 550K range. Okay, so we're going to try to identify if there's something you like. It's going to be a breakout player. He may be good to put in your team. So, and this breakout player relies on the role. Okay, so it's the important thing. So these are all the factors that we're looking for right now. Now, number 6. Okay, and this is one of the most important ones. Don't listen to outside noise, okay? Because we're going to have lots of noise coming from the outside. You're going to find that there are so many experts playing this game. All your mates all of a sudden have become experts, okay? There are millions, well, maybe not millions, but hundreds of experts on Twitter now, okay? You're going to go on Facebook and there's experts everywhere, okay? You're going to freak out. Where do all these experts come from? Champion data give us the real stats, okay? We're going to find a lot of stats from people that have put in hours of work. Unfortunately, they're not all accurate because I know for a fact that I was looking at stats myself, trying to add up how many touches a certain player was having, and it wasn't matching what was put out there from different people. Everyone had a different answer to this. So the stats aren't 100% accurate, but that don't really matter, okay? What matters is more or less their role, okay? This matters big time. Not how many touches they had, not the disposal efficiency, nothing. You just got to worry about the role, nothing else. Now, with all this in mind, okay, let's go to some players that we've seen in the past couple of days that have captured our eyes and put on our watch list. So we are going to create now, which goes now to number 7, we are going to create a watch list, okay? This watch list, one by one, you then take them off your list, okay? So let's create a watch list now. What have we seen? What have we noticed, okay? Your watch list may be different to mine, but this is my watch list. Now, let's start from defense. Now, which teams? Let's go to Freo first, okay? Freo played All Stars, okay? Now, what have we noticed at Freo? Now, we noticed that Luke Ryan didn't play. We noticed that Jordan Clark had a decent game, but what did we say about Jordan Clark? Don't look at Primo's scores, okay? Don't worry about the Primos. His role is the same. So we know what Jordan Clark can do, so just ignore that, okay? Not important. We went to the midfield. We saw Sorong and Brayshaw. They didn't have a huge game, but it doesn't matter because we know what Sorong and Brayshaw can do. They're off the watch list because we already know what they can do, right? We've got data, years of data on them, okay? So they're not important. So who is important, then you may ask? Well, let's go to defence. Was there anyone at Freo at defence that was a rookie that captured the eye? And unfortunately, the answer is no. Okay, there was nobody. So that's a pass. Was there anyone at Freo in the midfield that captured the eye? Okay, now let's go all the way down to the midfield. There was one that we were looking at, which was Erasmus. Okay, we're going to keep him on that watch list, but he didn't show much. And he pretty much played the second half of the game, so he didn't start. So that's not a good sign. And there was nobody else of interest except, where is he? O'Driscoll was of interest, okay? And as a rookie, 198k, going by the stats, okay, he had 100 fantasy points. Now, the thing to take note of with O'Driscoll is his price. Let's go to our rookie sheet. Okay. Rookies, job security, okay? Job security. Does he have job security? Well, to be honest, Freo supporters that I've been speaking to seem to think he does, okay? So that's a plus. However, the Freo supporters are not the coaches, okay? The coaches decide that. So as an outsider, and you gotta have, actually, let's go back over here, number 8, okay? This is very important. You got to have an unbiased opinion. You need to look at positives and negatives, okay? Let's go over here. Positives and negatives of every player, and then make a decision. Don't just bring him in because someone said he's going to be playing... guaranteed to play. Don't listen to that, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's the coach that decides, not us, okay? So he's on the watch list, okay? That's where he goes. At 200k, where does he play? Well, what was his role? Well, his role was the wing. The wing role is not a very good role. Okay, so you're paying 200K for a rookie that plays on the wing, and didn't play a lot of games last year. Has a lot of injury concerns virtually every year. Played a lot of waffle last year, so couldn't get into the team. So it's something to consider. Okay, so that's one thing. So let's keep him on the watch list. Who else was there of interest? Well, we saw a bit of Murphy Reed, but same as Erasmus, he came on in the second half. So maybe they're both not going to feature much early in the season. Maybe there might be later on what we call downgrade options. Okay, but at the start of the year, it doesn't look like they're going to be starters. Okay, now we go to the rucks. What did we notice? Okay, we noticed that Darcy's not playing. Okay, so Darcy doesn't play. To replace Darcy, Reedy had that role. However, you must consider that Reedy is going to likely play 3 or 5 games, and that's it. Five, if lucky, maybe 4 games. Okay, 3 to 4 games, because Darcy is due to come back into the team in round 3 to round 5 in that area. So what if he comes back in round 3? It means that Reedy's only going to play 2 games. If he comes back in round 5, Reedy only plays 4 games. 4 games is not enough time for Reedy to make cash. So the last thing you want in this spot here, the R3 spot, is a dead rookie doing nothing. Okay, so that's another thing to consider. But let's keep him on the watch list. All right. The next one is Luke Jackson. Problem for Luke Jackson is his price. It's 509K. It's not cheap. So you're going to get him as a keeper. His role looks like it's going to be full forward. So we go back over here. The role, okay, it looks like a full forward role with a bit of mid time and a bit of ruck time when Reedy is rested. Is that good enough? Okay, maybe not. Okay, so it's something then you have to go with an unbiased opinion, okay, and look at all the positives and negatives and see what he's done as a forward and as a second ruck, and then go by the averages. So put him on your watch list, okay, put him there, but don't just instantly think he's a lock, because there's no such thing as a lock right now. Now, with the All-Stars team, everything you see, you have to ignore, okay, because of the fact that none of them play for their clubs, because the coach of the teams that they play for is what dictates where they're going to play and if they play. So the All-Star teams, we just have to ignore now, okay? We did see Simpkin go best on ground, had a lot of midfield time. We don't know at North Melbourne, is he going to play forward? So that's something you need to ignore. Now let's move over, because I just mentioned North Melbourne. Let's go to North Melbourne, okay? Lots of noise on North Melbourne. Now, they had an intra-club game, all right? And we saw some stats. Again, we don't know how accurate these stats are, because they're not from Champion Data, okay? Now, these stats come from people that have sat down and watched the game. They're not experts when it comes to statistics, but they've tried their hardest to give you an accurate account. So we are happy that they're doing this for us, because without them, we have no idea what's happening. But players of note for North Melbourne in defence. Now, we are hearing a lot of noise on Harry Sheezel. Everyone's screaming, you have to lock him in, he's a must-have. However, I want to see Sheezel in a team with North Melbourne playing another team and his exact role, because there's talk around that he's going to play forward, there's talk that he's going to play mid. We don't know. I want to see it, okay? You just can't go on the noise. Remember what I said. Don't listen to outside noise, okay? You have to see it with your own eyes. So with Sheezel now, he's a primo anyway. So, and again, don't look at the primo. So the role is important, but at the moment, Sheezel's off that list, okay? Because we don't know what Sheezel can do. However, McKercher is a different story. McKercher last year scored well as a defender because he had kick-ins. However, going back over here, roles. What role does he have now? Well, they're saying wing and half forward. I want to see it. So let's put McKercher on the watch list, okay? Doesn't mean these are must-haves, okay? These are all watch list here. So McKercher goes there. Now, who else is at North Melbourne that caught the eye, okay? In defence, I think there's nobody else. Actually, there is one more. but I can put him in the forward line because I'm going to run out of room in defence. Let's go to the forward line. Now, Simpkin, we didn't see anything. Luke Parker is a player of interest. We want to see how much mid-time, because according to the stats in that reserves game, there wasn't as much mid-time as expected, but then there was other people saying he was always in the midfield. So there was different reports coming from different people. Okay, everyone's seen something different. I want to see for myself now. Okay, so Parker, let's put him on the watch list. Another player to put on the watch list, because you got to keep in mind also when Parker played, Simpkin was playing for the All-Stars, so he wasn't even in the team. So we're going to find out what where Parker's going to play and how much of that mid-time he's going to get. Another player, Caleb Daniel, took all the kick-ins apparently, and that's what we're expecting anyway. So he's almost a lock. Okay, now even going on outside, we don't listen to outside sources, but at the moment, he's one that we sort of already knew about. Okay, so Daniel is going to be a big one for all of us, I think. But the problem with Daniel is everybody owns him. He's 69% owned, so it doesn't matter. Okay, now, was there anyone else at North Melbourne of interest? Well, there was one more player, and that's, where is he? Whitlock. Now, Whitlock, as a rookie, had a key position role in defence. And even though it's not going to be a player you want to have on field, if we're looking for these cheap rookies, we've got to have him on as a watch list and see what he can do. So let's keep Whitlock on the watch list now. Now, in the midfield, who is there? Okay, now, there is one player of interest, and that's going to be Finn O'Sullivan, because he also had a wing role, apparently, and we want to see it. So let's wait and see Finn O'Sullivan's wing role, okay? Now, and that's pretty much it at North Melbourne. We now go to Essendon, okay? And now they played the Bulldogs. Now, let's go and look at the watch list now, okay? Nick Martin. If you're planning on getting Nick Martin, okay, his role wasn't the same as last year. Okay, so he's not going to be... Let's put him on the watch list for now, but I'll take him off if I don't have enough room later on. But let's put him there because even though we don't look at the primos, okay, don't look at primos, Nick Martin is a primo we need to look at because of the role, okay? Because if the role is no good, he's got to be off our list, okay? So Nick Martin goes there. Was there anyone else in defence that caught the eye? Let's keep going down. We do have... Al Hawley, okay, or Al Habibi, okay. Now, Syed Al Habibi played the whole game, which is promising, but didn't do much, which is not promising. But the good thing is we can watch him again. Plus, he plays round 0, so we'll see more of him. Another player that we have to watch is going to be Zach Reed. Again, he played pretty much the whole game, so we're going to watch both these players all year, and we think Zach Reed should get a spot in that round 0, round 1 team. So see how he goes. Actually, I'm going to take Nick Martin out of here for now because I'm going to run out of space. Now, let's go to the midfields. In the midfields, don't worry about Zach Merritt because we know what Zach Merritt can do. Okay, so don't worry about him. Okay, was there anyone that we should worry about? Okay, well, Dylan Shield on the watch list. We say don't look at the primos, but he's not a primo, he's a mid-pricer. Okay, so mid-pricers we need to look at because the idea of a mid-pricer, if they're any good, is they're going to go up to 550k. That's the idea. And at 550k, you then it's a stepping stone to a primo. Very simple 1 trade or 2 trade stepping stone. So Shield, we're going to find out more, but we do know that he played in defence. So when you play in defence, we need to see kick-ins, okay? Now, apparently he took some, but we don't think he's going to take a lot of them. So, Shield is one to watch, but I don't recommend at the moment, okay? Now, who else was there? Well, there was Tassatsis, okay? Now, Tassatsis was one player that caught the eye and had most time in the centre in CBAs. So, we're going to watch Tassatsis very close again. Okay, and see how he goes. Plus, we get to see him in round 0. Is there anyone else? Well, that's pretty much in the what's it called in the midfield. Now, going to take out Jackson from there now. And in the rucks, Nick Bryan was one to watch. Had more time as a ruckman than what Draper did. And the black market news, okay, is that Nick Bryan is going to take most of the ruck work this year. So and Draper is going to play more forward. So we're going to find out. And if this is the case, Bryan at 305k could be a good stepping stone later on to one of the big guns. But at 305k, he needs to go at 100. Okay, minimum 95. Okay, so we'll see how he goes. But put him on the watch list. Now, up forward, who did we like? Well, I'm not sure about like, but looks like job security. Okay, because remember, when you got rookies, job security is important, role is important, and the price. Now, the price is 149k, so it's not ideal, but if the job security is there, you're paying that price for the job security. So, Kako, we can put on the watch list, all right? Now, it looks like he's going to have that forward role, and that's pretty much it at Essendon, okay? Unless I miss somebody, but that's pretty much all I've seen. Now, we'll go to the Western Bulldogs, and there was no Dale player was missing, okay? So, Freya went nuts, okay? And people were jumping on Freya. Now, you got to keep in mind, role is important. Also, under role, okay, let's put a little who was missing. Okay, because who was missing to get that role? Okay, that's important as well. So even though you saw Freya have a really good role, kick-ins and everything, you have to also factor in which player was missing. Okay, now in this case, Dale was missing, so you want to see Freya again when Dale is in the team, because it's pointless knowing that Freya took all the kick-ins, but when it comes to round one, and Dale takes all the kick-ins, so your asset that you brought in has become a spud. Just come on down. Now, was there anybody else in defence at the Dogs that impressed us? And to be honest, well, there was one. Well, I'm not sure about impressing us, but looks to be secure, job security-wise, possibly a player we want to have on our bench. So Buslinger is one to watch. Now, in the midfield at the Dogs, who impressed us? We go over here, okay, and we mention breakout players, okay, and Richards, I've labelled him as the weapon, and when I said breakout players, he did everything I expected of him, okay, but keep in mind who was missing, okay? Who was missing? Well, they had a lot missing. They had the Bont missing. They had Trelaw missing, which is why we want Richards, but they also had Liberatore missing. So these are factors. So let's keep an eye on Richards for another week now. Don't get too excited yet. In the ruck, we saw Tim English play only half a game, and people are very concerned. They said, what's wrong with English? They had a rookie there playing most of it. Well, the rookie was there for one reason, and that was to earn his spot. So I think with English, I'm very comfortable that they used that rookie and didn't use other tools that they got in the team that took English's scores last year. They weren't playing in the ruck. Only a rookie was, and he's going to be more an emergency. Okay, so English is safe for me. Okay, now in the forward line, who was there? Well, not impressed, but keep an eye on. Well, Kennedy is that mid-pricer, price around about 450k range. Not sure he impressed, so I've taken him off that watch list for now. Okay, because this watch list has to be shortened down eventually. So I've taken Kennedy off. Okay, however, a player that I put on is Garcia. He impressed me so much, but again, with Garcia, it was a matter of who was missing. Okay, now his role was awesome, so let's leave Garcia there for now, and we're also going to put in there Sanders, who also impressed. Oh well, to be honest, Sanders didn't impress me. Okay, I didn't hardly seen him, but then I saw the stats, and they said he had 28 to 30 touches, and I fell off my chair. I couldn't believe it. Just come on down. Now, how on earth was I watching the same game as these stats? So he had 30 touches. I couldn't believe it. It's hard to believe, but if that's the case, he's a player you have to watch. And last of all, Davidson was a player we have to keep an eye on because it looks like he's going to get game time. So we're going to be blessed with a 113k rookie in our forward line. And that's pretty much it at the Dogs. Now, I'm running out of room here to put all these players in, okay? So we're going to take some out eventually. Now, let's go over to Geelong, okay? Let's go to Geelong now. So, Geelong versus Hawthorn. Who impressed us? Now, up the forward line, or in the forward line, Gira Myers could be having a new role. I'm not sure because I couldn't work out what his role was. However, at his price at 441k, I'm not sure if Gira Myers is going to be a top 6, but Gira Myers is a player that I'm going to watch all year and possibly bring in after the bye rounds. Okay, it's because I'd love to have him at an F7 because of the draw. They're going to play Richmond twice. Okay, so Myers is one to keep an eye on. In the forward line, Bailey Smith. Okay, now conflicting reports of his disposals. Some were saying 17, some were saying 16. I counted less, so we'll see how that goes. But Smith has to be on your watch list. And at the moment, he's owned by 67% of the team, so nearly everyone's got him, okay? Except for Abby Magic doesn't have him, but that doesn't matter, okay? We had an argument with Smith, that's why he's not in our team. But Smith is another one. Was there anyone else at Geelong in the forward line that caught the eye? Okay, and unfortunately, there was one more. So we need to take someone out now. Well, let's take let's take Daniel out because we already know what Daniel's going to do. Okay, and let's bring in Clossy. Now Clossy was one to watch. Not sure about his job security. Okay, so we're going to watch more of him. Okay, I don't think his job security is going to be very strong. Okay, so but let's just keep an eye on him and see what happens. Now in the midfield at Geelong, who was there to watch? Well, remember we mentioned. Well, we can put Holmes. Well, let's put him over here for now. We mentioned breakout. Okay, breakout players between 500 and 550 that can be guns. Holmes is going to be one of them, okay? But if you're going to get Holmes, you want to get him in defence. But I'll just put him there for now because I'm going to run out of room in defence soon. So Holmes is one. He's not for me, okay? Because it feels like he's got the same role, but he could break out, okay? So keep an eye on Holmes. And another player of interest was this boy, okay? Nevitt. And he had a lot of time on ground and a lot of CBAs. I actually liked Nevitt more than I liked Bailey Smith, okay, because Nevitt had the role. Remember what we mentioned, the role is so important, okay? What was Bailey Smith's role? Well, it was midfield, wing, and a bit of half forward, whereas Nevitt was pure midfield, so he looked good. Now, I'm almost comfortable having Nevitt on the field, okay? That's how much I liked his role. Anyone else at Geelong? Well, in defence, there's another player, Connor O'Sullivan. Now, Connor O'Sullivan is there because there's another player at Geelong. Okay, there's a few at the Cats. The Conning was playing ruck, so O'Sullivan has the Conning's role in defence, and the Conning then moves to the ruck. So both these players are now on the watch list, okay, and big time. We're not sure how DeConning's going to score, but according to Fantasy Freako, who's got some stats, he mentioned that, an average of 95 or something in his 4 or 5 games that he was as a ruckman. Is that going to be enough for a free 61k player? I think it is, okay? It's a stepping stone. 95 average will probably get you to about 470, 475. So he's got 120k there to make, so that's actually good. So keep an eye on DeConning. No one knows if he's going to be the number one ruck, but I think from all observations, he's definitely going to be a ruck at Geelong. So he's going to probably have 70% to 60% ruck time, and it looks good enough. We now go to Hawthorn. Okay, now at the Hawks, who was there of interest? Now, or who are going to put on the watch list? Was there anything that we liked? Well, we already know. Well, in defence about the sick dog. And again, with Sicily, there were players missing. Okay, so we don't know his exact role yet because there were missing players. So ignore the sick dog for now. Was there any player that we should be looking at in defence? And I don't think there was anyone. Okay, maybe Jai Sarong, but he's at 185k, so I'm not sure on Jai Sarong. In the midfield, who is there? Well, we already know what John Newcomb and Will Day, both of them, okay, have got this breakout players situation, point number 5. So both of them are going to be on this watch list as breakout players. Now, I need to make up some room, so I'm going to take out Newcomb for now, because another player of interest is Huswaite. He had limited time on ground, but with that limited time, he actually did really well. Same as last year, when he had limited time, he did really well, but it doesn't look like he's going to be in their main midfield mix. So maybe not Huswaite, but keep an eye on him. What else was there at Hawthorn? Was there any rucks? No. Was there any forwards? Let's take out another forward from here now, because we're running out of space. Let's take out Parker for now. Was there any forwards here at Hawthorn that we liked? And to be honest, no. There was nothing else. Hawks, pretty much the two gun mids, okay, the players that we're watching. We now move over to Richmond. All right, now at Richmond, what do we have at Richmond? What I noticed at Richmond is all the rookies that I saw, barring one. Okay, all the rookies that I saw are pretty much not going to start round 1. Maybe we're going to have Caleb Smith, maybe, okay, but I highly doubt it. All right, the only player that caught the eye for me in defence was Jacob Blight. I loved his game. The problem with Blight is the price. Okay, let's get back over here. Rookies price. Okay, his price is too expensive. Okay, 246k. It needs to go at 80. Very hard for a key defensive player to go at 80. So we're going to take him out of that list. We didn't see Luke Traynor play because he was going to play, but he didn't because of the fact. Actually, where is he? Okay, Trainor's gone there now, but because there was illness, so we didn't see much of him. So we're gonna watch him next time when they play. So let's take Blight out of there as well because he didn't suit the the price was not right. Now in the midfield, we saw one young gun, number 1 draft pick, and that's Laylaw. Okay, now Laylaw, when we watched him play, his role, okay, sorry, I should go over here. Job security is secure. Role is very good. Price is not good, okay, but the price is good enough if we can't find enough players here because Laylaw's role is much better than O'Driscoll's role, okay. Now, for a difference of 7k or 8k or 10k, I'd rather have Laylaw than O'Driscoll because O'Driscoll on the wing compared to Laylaw in the midfield / forward line where he can kick some goals, Laylaw has a better role. However, there are conflicting reports this morning that he's broken his jaw, okay? So I'm not even sure if he's going to play now. So let's leave Laylaw there for now. Let's actually take out Will Day out of there because it needs to make some more space now. And let's leave the rest of the Richmond team is probably not going to be relevant. Like Smiley is not going to play. So the rest of the rookies at Richmond are going to be downgrade options. So we're going to watch them throughout the season. We now move over to West Coast. Okay, now at West Coast, in defence, was there anyone that caught the eye? Well, the player that I really wanted to see was Jeremy McGovern and his role. I didn't see it because he didn't play. So McGovern doesn't go in that list now. Was Bo Allen was a big one, okay? And I think we all can agree that he's going to play round 1 and we're going to have to put him in our team because he's a good price. So Allen is a lock there. In the forward line, okay, the player that we're going to lock in is going to be, the player that I wanted to see was Maric, okay, but he didn't play, so we couldn't see his role. So we're going to watch him next time. But Hewitt looks like he's secured that role, so he's going to be a lock. In the ruck, it's very conflicting. Okay, I didn't see much of these players. We saw Livingston play for the All Stars. Okay, we saw a bit of Reed play. We just look at the ruck. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think Barnett's a ruck, but they got 4 ruckmen. So I don't think Reed. Maybe he will, but I just can't see it because you got Williams there, you got Flynn there. So just keep an eye on Reed anyway. But leave him there for now. In the midfield, players like Baker. Problem is with Baker, the role. Okay, no kick-ins. Looks like a defensive role. I think he's a pass. Okay, players like Jack Graham. The price, 376k. How much are you expecting? I mean, a 376k for Jack Graham, you can get a DeConning at 361k. We know DeConning's going to ruck. I'm not sure I'll pay 376 for Graham, who doesn't have big history of scoring a lot of Supercoach points. He's not a high possession player like Sanders, for example, who had 30 touches. I've taken Graham off the list, okay? But you can put him on your list. This is my list. Okay, so that doesn't mean you don't have to have him on your list. Now, was there anyone else of interest? Well, we saw Clay Hall play. Didn't see much of him. Okay, played in the second half, so I don't think he's going to be playing in the firsts. We didn't see Gross play. Okay, apparently illness as well, so not sure on Gross. But I think I've got more interest on Gross than I do on Hall. So let's keep an eye on Gross for the next game. And that's pretty much it. Actually, there's one more player, and I'm going to need to make space for him, okay, in the forward line. And that was this boy. Where is he? Okay, let's move up. Let's take someone else. Let's take out Sanders. Let's take out Garcia for now, okay? And in the forward line, there was a young boy. Really caught the eye. It was Tyrell Dewar, okay? Now, the problem with Dewar is that scoring potential. Let's get back over here. Rookies, job security. Actually, I think it's secure. I think he has job security, but his role and his price is a concern. It could be a similar role to Kako with a bit of extra wing time. So it looks spectacular the way he plays. So it's going to be a highlights reel, but keep an eye on him anyway. Now, this will be part 1 of our watch list series, okay? We'll have more watch lists coming as we see more games. Now, I'm going to try to fit in, out of every 2 or 3 games, a watch list. I don't want to do it after every game because there's going to be games coming left, right, and centre soon. So we'll try to fit in as many as we can into one episode and then do another episode and so forth. So this is going to be like a calm before the storm because we're going to get an influx of information coming through soon. And I'm sort of saving the energy for that influx of information coming. So I won't be uploading every day, probably every second or third day. But in between there, I'm sort of going to be helping out other content creators and probably appearing on their podcasts to give my perspective or answer some questions that you may have through their podcasts. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.